Remember, the truth will always set you free. We are going to deep dive and find out what is hidden under the surface to find out what exact truth is ready to be received. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find who am I talking to? It'll give me a little bit of an understanding of the cards that we're about to pull. So, archetypically, the protection guardian, drop your shields. How perfect is that card? Especially when we're ready to drop our shields and see the truth. Oftentimes, the truth can bring disappointment, but it will always liberate you and set you free. We never want to be put in a position where we're given something false, because then we're clinging to hope. And I don't believe hope is ever healthy unless it is attached to potential and possibility, if that makes sense. Okay, so I am talking to the protection guardian right now, and the protection guardian is asking you to drop your shields. So if you look at it in a way that there's a conscious and a subconscious, and your subconscious is this protection guardian asking you, the conscious part, to drop your shields. And the first card I pulled was the mountain. Okay. So the mountain, what does that represent? That's either a mountain you have to climb, a mountain you have climbed, or a mountain that you're steadily climbing. I don't know why that, like, it's almost like you've been in a cycle of climbing this mountain. Okay. And at the top of the mountain is this castle that you potentially can see very clearly. You can see what this mountain looks like. You can see the castle on the top of the mountain, just visualizing. And the castle holds all of your dreams. It holds everything you've ever wanted. But again, you're being asked to drop your shields. Potentially rip your heart open so that you can see inside the castle. Because it's like you're just looking at the castle. Just at the doorway. And then I pulled the desert. And so, what is the desert? The desert is, there's nobody anywhere, nobody around. It's just you and your devotion. You and your trials and tribulations. You may be feeling like you're alone. You know, like when I look at this mountain, he's inside of it, just all by himself. This individual is in there, just all by himself. Made it to the top. Or not even made it to the top. You're like just at the threshold. Like it's just before you reach the top of the mountain to get inside the castle. But you haven't made it there with anybody. You're in the desert, like nobody's with you. And that can feel really lonely. And if you feel that way, remember you're not alone. Never are you alone. Maybe in the physical world you might feel like you're alone, but you're really not alone. You're on the bridge. It's like you're wavering between where you're at and getting inside the castle. It's like the castle is your dreams, your desires, everything that you've ever wanted, everything you've been building this entire time. You're standing in front of the castle. and because you're all alone. You may feel like you don't want to go inside the castle. Maybe it's activating all your, it's like when we finally get to where we want to go and we finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes the light is so bright and so golden that we can just stand there for a minute and stare at it. And I pulled the ocean next to the bridge, and it's like you're full of all these emotions: anger, sadness, anticipation, wish. I feel like you never thought that you would get there by yourself. Like you thought you might arrive with a tribe. But what you don't realize is you are the tribe. You're the one. You're the one carving the path. You're the one with the vision. You're the warrior. You're the one who took the leap of faith. You're the one who wasn't afraid to step into your power. But it's like paralyzing and dismantling when you realize that you're still just all by yourself. It's bringing a lot of emotion inside of me as well. There was a point on my journey where I realized that I was the one. I was the one. And the only way to share my vision is to actually manifest it. And manifesting it alone is challenging. When nobody wants to jump on the train with you, or nobody wants to climb the mountain with you, and you feel alone, and you have to make all your own decisions, and you are the boss, the employer, the boss, and the employee. You're all the things accumulated into one individual. That reminds me of Ganesh, when all of your arms, you have all these arms and you're being pulled in multiple directions to maintain stability, continually trying to pull yourself up, regulating the energy for everybody. Not necessarily on purpose. You're doing it because that's what you do. You regulate. You've learned to regulate. It's all you've ever done. You haven't blamed anybody. You haven't projected anything. You haven't created a false truth for people to follow. But they have for you. They've created false truths for you. They've told you false things that they didn't follow through with. One little inkling of a potential partner dissolved in a matter of minutes after accumulating so much power over time with hope and the possibility of potential. And then one day the door slams in your face and says, actually, not this way. And then you gotta pull yourself back up from the abyss of darkness and start over. How many times have you had to do that? How many times have you been guided away from your own timeline, thinking that you are being led to glory? How many times? And then when you realize that every path leads to false illusions, and the only path that's honest and authentic is the sovereign path. The path where you walk beside yourself, which is always what you've had to do. Even in the false leads, even in the multiple timelines that you've gone down a little bit and found a dead end. Who got you back out of the dead end? Who pulled you back out of the forest? It's you walking beside you. You are an elder, an ancestor, an ascended master, a messenger, an angelic being of light. And you sit beside every lost soul. Guiding, supporting, amplifying. But you never, ever give hope, because hope isn't truth. The only truth is action. The only truth is follow through. The only truth is showing up. It's not talking about it. It's not wishing for it. It's not visualizing it. It's not creating a vision board. It's just doing what feels right for you. And when you are deep and passionate, and you stand fully in your power and fully in your authority, many, many will come to bask in the wealth of your medicine, offering riches and structures and sacred experiences just to be next to you, just to be a part of your energy. You hold this mother energy, the nurturer, the one that is attentive, the one that shows up, the one that is endlessly constant. The mother is constant. She doesn't back away, she doesn't run, she doesn't avoid, she doesn't resist. She continuously shows up every single time. And it could become bittersweet, because there isn't always a path that leads to the reflection of that energy. There's lots of distortion, and when you accept the distortion of humankind and you accept the reality of humankind, you start to heal. You're at the final door, the grand finale, the elimination of the final wound. And know that you are fully seen. If nobody else sees you, I see you. I feel you. Whether you're a mother or you're a father, or you are one that will eventually become that. The reality of a mother is she sacrifices. have you stepped into your full nurturing state? That takes a little bit of time because you have to move into acceptance of the sacrifice of a mother. She may never be nurtured in the way that she nurtures others. She may never receive the same reflection that she's always desired. Her devotion is to stand beside herself and to focus solely on creating a sacred space for her family, her friends, and her community. It's within the sadness and the grief that build us up into self-compassion, self-love, understanding that each and every one of us has suffered so deeply. There isn't one individual in the entire human race, animal race, alien race that hasn't suffered in this alchemy of life. And we, or I, or you, or without assumption or expectation, walk those sacred fires. But it's walking the sacred fires and taking that fire and turning it into glory, manifestation. The way we do that is we drop the shields. We follow the voice of our own soul. We allow the Creator to protect us. Ask and you will receive. The door will only open when your heart is ripped open. You can only get through the gates when you've released all attachment to all outcomes, experiences, and people. I got prayer. And there is a lot of sadness that comes with that. But that sadness is still attachment. It's a point where you have to mourn. I've experienced within my own journey so many potential parts of me mourning. I do it a lot faster now. I transmute the mourning a lot quicker because at first I become sort of a victim in that process. And then that victim pulls themselves up off the ground, looks themselves in the eyes, and reminds them of how much love they have in their heart and how much love and compassion they give, and how keeping themselves going even after the grief is so important and so valued and so wanted. Knowing that most are expressing under the pain. You are the ring, the full circle, the container, the boundless, infinite, unconditional love that is not always witnessed or aware, that doesn't always have awareness to it. That isn't always repaid in the way that you want it to be repaid. Standing there looking at the castle. You want to go inside. But it's not much fun, right? When you're all by yourself. So, you're being asked to bridge that gap of separation. Rip your heart open. Mourn and detach from the people, the experiences, and the stuff. Allow your inner warrior to reveal itself. Because that is the gentle generosity of the mother. The softness. The beauty. The boundless support, the limitless support. The one who prays in gratitude. Always curious. Understanding that there's a circle, a full circle. You are the brave. The shaman in the forest, the one who walks ahead of everyone. The one who follows their voice, the voice of their soul. The protection. Imagine how many people in your life that you've witnessed. The mother is the witness. She can see the growth, and she can also mirror it and reflect it for others to see within themselves. But she's also invisible. Nobody sees her. Nobody hears her. It's like she's a ninja, sitting behind the veil. Always secretly desiring to be seen. Secretly desiring to be witnessed. And at some point you come to the conclusion that your path may have been meant to walk alone. And your path leads you to your Creator, your God, your devotion, the voice of your soul. And as challenging as it is to let go of people, places, and things, on the other side of that is always the glory of everything you've ever desired. But the grand finale is letting it all go. Aletheia. Truth. Recognizing the truth, seeing the truth. Exposing the truth. And allowing yourself to mourn that truth. Mourning is a sacred experience. And it requires deep, deep, deep contemplation. It requires you to sit in that dark place for just a moment. It's liberating and it's freeing to do so. It unlocks the magic within. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Be one with yourself. Stand beside you. Give yourself a hug. Pat yourself on the back. Go buy yourself some flowers. Go on an adventure. Go find a sacred space and mourn all the wounds where you have felt abandoned, where you've been given false hope. And your imagination and your singing heart wanted so badly for that path to be real. Wanted so badly for that path to be the truth. You are in mourning, and allowing yourself to detach. And remember, detachment isn't walking away. It's not never seeing a person or a place or a thing again. It's liberating your soul. Getting you back into your own singular alignment. Unlocking the magic within yourself. No more holding yourself back. That's one of the biggest sabotages I have ever experienced, is putting hope into an illusional path. There are false prophets and there are prophets. And it's very difficult to discern. So moving forward, after you mourn, stay on your path. It's not that you can't feel support or count on others. It's just each conversation unfolds another step. Stay present in the moment. Do what you do because that's what you do, and that's the thing that you want to do. If somebody happens to show up and they happen to be available and they happen to want to participate, open the door. Keep that door open. But in the meantime, eat your favorite food. Sleep in. Take a warm bath with candles and incense. Go for a walk on the beach or by the lake. pick some flowers, clean your house, water your plants. Create space. That's the path of alignment. It's my absolute honor to be here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bobby. I am the mother of 4 young adult sons, psychic medium, Reiki practitioner, and twin flame facilitator. Again, my absolute honor to walk beside you. I'll see you in the next video. I love you so much.